for filmmakers. So they're great programs to start out with, and then the next bit of funding is for once you're fairly established. And so the Canadian Media Fund, the higher production projects, and so they have limits or minimum requirements that you have to get into those. So if you're beyond the emerging, but you're not quite, into the multi-million-dollar projects yet, you're kind of stuck in the middle, and it's hard to access any resources for those kinds of projects. In the, say the 500,000 to $1 to $2 million, and those kind of are where it's just, those are kind of the projects that everybody wants to get, because you can do more with those, and they're still considered small by American standards, and maybe even Toronto standards or whatnot. But there's just not, you kind of, like I said, fall through those cracks in that there's not a lot of resources or funding available for that. And then some of the requirements, like you have to have, I remember reading something about you need to be an emerging artist, or an emerging producer, but you already have to have a broadcast license. Well, to get the broadcast license, they usually don't work with emerging producers. You have to have an established relationship with the broadcasters, and there's only a few broadcasters around in Canada. So to get that broadcast license, now they've tried very hard to expand that definition of broadcast, like what a broadcast license looks like. So something like you could have a YouTube channel, but it can't be your own personal YouTube channel. It has to be like a secondary source kind of thing, and it can't just be like somebody's website kind of YouTube channel. It has to be for the general public, and there's some criteria for that. So that makes it harder, because if you're like, okay, I'm going to do my first feature. I've made a number of shorts. I want to do my first feature film or my first series, and I want to, or moving up to a bigger budgeted one. And then it's like, well, where do I get the funding? Where do I get the resources to access those? Because I don't have the big producers over here. I don't have all of the experience yet to qualify for those other things. Yet I don't qualify for the emerging stuff anymore either.